hick tourists. Why don't you go back where you belong? Idiot! Out of my way or I'll friggin' knock you flat. So what if she's my wife's sister? Not like she wasn't after me all this time. Elise's breath was coming faster with each second, a headache blooming in her temples. The voices in her mind blended into ceaseless, almost indistinguishable chatter. But she held on, bracing herself as the train arrived and its doors opened to let a new sea of people pour out onto the platform. They spilled around her, more voices added to the cacophony that was shredding her from the inside. Panhandling losers ought to put the same effort into getting a damn job. I swear, he puts his hand on me one more time, I'ma kill the sumbitch. Run, cattle, run back to your pens, pathetic creatures. My master is right. You do deserve to be enslaved. Elise's eyes snapped wide. Her blood turned to ice in her veins the instant the words registered in her mind. This was the one voice she waited to hear. The one she came here to hunt. She didn't know the name of her prey, or even what he looked like, but she knew what he was, a minion. Like the others of his kind, he had been human once, but now he was something less than that. His humanity had been bled away by the one he called Master, a powerful vampire and the leader of the rogues. It was because of them, the rogues and the evil one guiding them in a growing war within the vampire race, that Elise's only son was dead. After being widowed 5 years ago, Camden was all she'd had left, all that mattered in her life. With his loss, she'd found a new purpose, an unwavering resolve. It was that resolve she leaned upon now, commanding her feet to move through the thick crowd, searching for the one she'd make pay for Camden's death this time. Her head spun with the continued bombardment of painful, ugly thoughts, but finally she managed to single out the minion. He stalked ahead of her by several yards, his head covered by a black knit cap, his body draped in a tattered, faded green camouflage jacket. Animosity poured out of him like acid. His corruption was so total, Elise could taste it like bile in the back of her throat. And she had no choice but to stick close to him, waiting for her chance to make her move. The minion exited the station and headed up the sidewalk at a fast clip. Elise followed, her fingers wrapped tightly around the dagger in her pocket. Outside, with fewer people, the psychic blare had lessened, but the pain of overload in the station was still present, boring into her skull like a steel spike. Elise kept her eyes trained on her quarry, picking up her speed as he ducked into a business off the street. She came up to the glass door and peered past the painted FedEx logo to see the minion waiting in line for the counter. "Excuse me, miss," someone said from behind her, startling her with the sound of a true voice and not the buzz of words that were still filling her head. "You going inside or what, lady?" The man behind her pushed open the door as he said it, holding it for her expectantly. She hadn't intended to go in, but now everyone was looking at her, the minion included, and it would draw more attention to herself if she refused. Elise strode into the brightly lit business and immediately feigned interest in a display of shipping boxes in the front window. From her periphery, she watched as the minion waited his turn in line. He was edgy and violent-minded, his thoughts berating the customers ahead of him. Finally, he approached the counter, ignoring the clerk's greeting. "Pick up for Rains." The attendant typed something into a computer, then hesitated a second. "Hang on." He headed to a back room, only to return a moment later, shaking his head. "It hasn't arrived yet. Sorry about that." Fury rolled off the minion, tightening like a vice around Elise's temples. "What do you mean, it hasn't arrived?" "Most of New York got hit with a big snowstorm last night, so a lot of today's shipments have been delayed." "This shit's supposed to be guaranteed," the minion snarled. "Yeah, it is. You can get your money back, but you have to fill out a claim." "Fuck the claim, you moron. I need that package now."